Welcome back, everyone. As you can see, we have our Tesla here, and this is a Tesla-related video. Ignore the mess. I'm trying to keep that currently-ish out of frame. Other projects. So, if you have a Tesla, you most people have some sort of charger in your garage. I installed my own. It actually was not that difficult. If you want to watch that, go ahead and watch that. But I bought this Tesla charger when I bought the Tesla. And this one, compared to the one that actually needs to be wired into the wall, there's a big price difference, but there's not really a big benefit of going with the giant wall-mounted, hardwired, blah, blah, blah. Plus, this one, you can change out the thing, you can take it with you, you can do whatever you want. So, cost just makes sense. That's why I bought this car when I did, at the price I did. Anywho, back to the charger. This was the best bang for the buck. However, this is the mobile charger, but this is my only charger. So I have to constantly unplug it, plug it back in, unplug it, plug it back in, just as a backup for this one. Just in case I get stranded somewhere, I can pull over, find some sort of outlet, plug it in, and get some juice to get me to, say, a supercharger, just in case. So now I have something that will help me, AKA another one. I decided to get the Megear electric vehicle charger. This is decently inexpensive. It is much, much cheaper than the Tesla charger. It's not as versatile, but this is a great backup. Something just to keep in the Tesla just in case. So this is my backup charger if I'm traveling or driving somewhere and I need to have something to plug into because you can't just plug the car in. Something needs to plug into the car. Let's get this unboxed. Let's see what's inside. So inside that box, we have a carrying case and everything is already inside the carrying case, which is pretty cool. So let's see what's inside the carrying case. So this is everything inside the carrying case, along with all of its little fun bubble tubular packing, which I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so this comes with basically two different chargers. Now I wasn't really gung-ho about getting a 240 volt because how often are you going to, in an emergency situation, or maybe you're staying over at your aunt's house for Thanksgiving or something like that, and they've just got a free 240 volt. I think that's pretty rare, at least in the South. People just don't have them readily available. So this one comes with, technically this is a 240 volt. There you can see it's a little bit different. This one is on the side, this one is straight up and down compared to a regular one in America. That's what they look like. So this is a 620, a NEMA 620. So this can take 240 volts. It's not going to be as fast as I have in the garage, but if this is available, you can use it. But it does come with this adapter, which is a 515 or something, NEMA 515. This is your standard plug that goes into the wall, any wall in America. This is your 120 volt. So if you just pop that guy on there, plug this in anywhere, you do have this as a backup, just in case you do find one and you can plug it in. But this one also comes with the Tesla plug. Like there's no adapters, there's nothing. Plus that little button right there is the exact same thing that comes with your standard Tesla charger, superchargers, anything, and it'll open up your door and whatnot. It comes with a bunch of different ones. So if you don't have a Tesla, you can get this in a different, if you have like a Nissan Leaf or, well, most everyone is actually using these chargers now. But if you have an older one, they do come with different ports. I forgot what the heck these things are called. There's so many names for so many different things. I'm trying to keep up, guys. All right, let's go test it out. Let's see how good it does. Alrighty, just got it plugged in. It's a little long with that adapter, so that might be a bit of an issue. However, this is a decently long cable, but if you do want to wall mount it, it does have a little spot there, so you can put in a screw or a nail or something up against a wall, and then you can mount it on the wall. You won't have to worry about too much weight being put onto that. Also back here, it gives you all the statuses, so you don't even need to keep that little booklet. It gives you all the info down here, which I'll go over. But I've got it plugged in. It says power. Real time, we're gonna do this. This is also a longer cord, but again, I'll go over the specs in just a second. Car. Look at that. It's like it knows what it's doing. I don't know. It's a lot of clicking. Not fully secured. Oh, there we go. It's its first time. Is it charging? I mean, it's in there now. I don't see anything on the inside saying it's charging. Let's try this again. Ooh, my goodness, that is a very tight fit. Let's try this again. Open sesame. There we go. We got it plugged in. We got the green light. Let's see what it says over here. It says it's charging. I'm not seeing anything on the Tesla itself, probably because it locked. Oh yeah, looky there. We are charging. And we've got AC going already. It's hot. All right, took it a little second to get ramped up. So you can see over there, we are charging at 16 amps at 115 volts. You can also see over here, we're maxed out at 16 amps. If you do want to go lower, you can. But 16 amps at 114, which is your 120 volt, regular wall, 115, jumping around there. So that is charging. Perfect, it works. So a few quick comparisons here. You can see the side-by-side of the two chargers. The Megear is a little bit longer. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Tesla is a multi-billion-dollar company, so they can shrink their stuff down and make it as compact as possible. So that's the difference you're looking at there. I don't know, maybe some people like a little bit longer one for a better handle. But we also look at the charging cables on both. It is indistinguishable. They look like they're using the exact same thing. Also, another difference, if you look at the ports themselves, like of course the port is identical so it fits, but you can see there's a different design on the inside. You see how that's kind of like striped? And then over here in the Tesla one, it's, I guess, more solid with cuts. I really don't know the science behind that. I'm not an electrician. I am not an expert, but you can see that in these small holes up here, and the same thing with these small holes over here on the Tesla charger. So pretty interesting, slightly different designs, but I mean, it does the same thing. And like I said before, this one is a much tighter fit than the Tesla, which just kind of, I mean, it's made for the car. It just pops in. Actually, it's a little bit on the loose side, but I don't know, they designed it. Well, as this thing is charging, I'll go over a few of the specs. So as you know, I already told you guys that there's stuff on the back here that gives you some information. So the output on this one is 16 amps max. So this is 16 amps, which I was able to do with the 120 volt, not the 240, but 16 amps max. And compare that to the Tesla brand mobile charger, which can do up to 32, but that is with a 240 volt. So for a regular outlet, so if I swapped out that 240 and put in a 120, which is the same as this one, so it's a NEMA 515, your regular outlet, it can actually only do 12 amps, where this one can do 16 amps. So if you're doing regular charging, this one is definitely the winner. Also, if you're looking at the cable length itself, this one is slightly longer. The Tesla charging cable is exactly 20 feet, which comes from their website. This one is 23.5 feet with the adapter. So I'm gonna do a quick check and I'm gonna see how long it is up to here, because this is actually quite long, whereas if we look at the Tesla, all you're getting is a little bit of extra here before it starts at the base, and I'm pretty sure they're counting the cord length from here, that base, all the way up to here, whereas this one, you get a little bit of extra going from the adapter to the wall, so that does give you some extra length. So if you stretch this thing all the way out, the cord length itself is actually a little over 18 feet from here all the way to the charger. However, with this additional length that plugs into the wall, that's how you get the 23.5. So this is what makes it longer than the 20 foot of the Tesla charger. And last but not least comes to price. Now these are priced differently depending on which kind you get, if you're doing a standard 240 or if your ends are different. But this specific one right now is $170. Tesla, brand new that is, Tesla brand new is $250. So I think it really depends on what you're gonna be using these for. If you're going to be using it as a standard, keep it in the garage, 240 volt kind of thing, Tesla wins there compared to this exact one for 240 volt. But I would not buy a $250, this exact same thing, pop in the 120 volt outlet, because this one charges faster. This one has a longer cord. This one is better to keep in your car for emergency situations than the more expensive $250 Tesla charger. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this whole thing, put it back in its little carrying case, pop it up in my frunk, boom, I have myself an emergency on-the-go charger. If I stop by a friend's house, if I go by family members, if I'm stuck somewhere and I know I'm gonna run out, hell, even some Walmarts have outlets on the outside of their buildings that you can plug into. Get you a few miles just so you can get to the next charging station if you didn't plan ahead, I guess. So if you want one of these, look down below. Like I said, they're pretty cheap. Look down below, get yourself one for emergency situations, pop it in your Tesla, and forget about it because you're safe. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.